Welcome to the podcast, my friends. I am glad you have joined the conversation today. I want to talk about proving them wrong. You are to prove people wrong. There's a whole lot of people out there who are trying to, write your life story, trying to say who you're not from who you are. And many have set roadblocks and different things along your path to prevent you from being the best person you can be in life. So you need to prove them wrong. One day I had a conversation while I was driving in the car with my son, and he was telling me about this experience he had at the basketball practice and how he attempted to shoot the ball and it missed the basket. And they started laughing at him, and he took it personal, the way they carried on. He said, "Dad, it wasn't just an ordinary laugh. It was like these guys were just trying to think that he doesn't have the gift and all that kind of a stuff." And I said to him, "So what are you going to do about it?" He looked at me and kind of like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Son, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do when people do everything in their power to say you can't?" And then I looked my son in the eye and I said, "You prove them wrong. Prove people wrong." Like my son, many of you have had instances where, people have mocked you, laughed at you. Perhaps people have walked out of your life, left you and abandoned you, pretty much kind of saying that you're not going to make it. You cannot afford to lay down and play dead or have a pity party. Your responsibility is to prove people wrong. You got to prove people wrong, my friends. Prove that the things that people are hoping to happen to you or things that they say you will become, prove that they are wrong. Now, how do you prove people wrong? How do you prove people wrong? First of all, you're going to have self-confidence. People talk about it all the time. I have self-confidence, but do you really? Do you really have self-confidence? You have to think about that. Self-confidence says, I'm not arrogant, but I know what I'm capable of doing. I know my own abilities. I know with God on my side, I can do anything. Come on now. Because, the strength that I rely on, and speaking about you, the strength that you rely on is the strength that comes from God. I can do all things through Christ who gives me the strength. So you prove people wrong. I want to talk to women, first of all, who you might have encountered a breakup, a divorce, or it was a relationship that could have led to marriage and so forth. And the man is saying, you're not going to make it. He has already declared you will never make it, and so forth. Prove him wrong. Prove him wrong. Have self-confidence. Tell yourself with God on your side, you will make it. That you have the ability to educate yourself, get a degree. You have the ability to be smart enough to say, you know what, I'm going to start this business and I'm going to use wisdom and discern the right time, how to trade, how to do business. I just recently shared a message on the idea of seek for a discerning heart, that you're going to do all those things, right? And that you're going to equip yourself, go to the proper training, help educate yourself to be successful. And when you do, you see, by working hard and focusing on your goals and believe within yourself that you're able to do those things, then you'll prove that man wrong. Prove him wrong. Well, he left you with so many kids. Okay, he's not doing his part. He's not supporting the kids and so forth. Okay, do what you need to do. But at the end of the day, prove him wrong, that with God on your side, God being your husband now, God being the kid's father now, that, you know what? You don't have to sit there begging for bread to nobody. Come on now. God has blessed you. The same thing for men. That woman has treated you unfairly. That woman has really disrespected you, not understanding the value of who you are. Prove her wrong. She's thinking without her, you'll never make it. She's thinking, that, you're this, you're that, whatever, because there's some women out there, they live to make men's life miserable. They live to make your life a misery. And what you have to do is prove her wrong. Prove her that with God on your side, okay, you know how to take care of your children if there are children involved. Take care of your children and do your part, but prove her wrong. Educate yourself. Start that business. Do what the things that you are to do to prove her wrong. Because don't forget, the enemy gets in people and he will use people to terrorize your life to make you think that, you can't do it. That's why I said self-confidence is number one. You got to have self-confidence. You got to believe in yourself that, yeah, you might have had some setbacks. Yeah, you might have even done dumb stuff. As long as in your heart you've asked God to forgive you, as long as you've asked others to forgive you. Sometimes when you ask others to forgive you, they will hold it against you for dear life, forever. You've done your part. Walk away from it and prove them wrong. On the job, there are co-workers saying, you can't handle that. There are people who think that you're not qualified. There's a supervisor right now who thinks you're not qualified for that promotion. Prove them wrong. You know the abilities that God has given you. Prove them wrong. One of the worst thing a person can tell me is, Henry, you can't. Oh, it's like when you tell me I can't, somehow there's an energy that gets in me to push me to prove you wrong. Because I believe with God on my side, I can do anything I set my mind to do, right? Second thing you need to do, apart from self-confidence, you need to also avoid allowing people to pressure you into discouragement. Listen, you got to learn to encourage yourself. Listen, success is a lonely road. I hate to tell you that. To get to a successful place, it's lonely. It's really lonely, man. It'll make you feel as if, oh God, I'm all out here by myself. And sometimes, yeah, you are truly out there by yourself. But you know what? God is always there with you. Don't get discouraged. Even when people are laughing at you like they did at my son or towards my son, let them laugh. Don't get discouraged. Believe in yourself. Okay, and so what if you failed? I get it. So what if you didn't do it right? That's it. I've got people who laughed at me when I was much younger. I remember I was growing up in school, and this was in high school. And I remember there was a guy, a classmate. Oh God, I don't know why. I was a very quiet, shy, little boy, and sheltered, didn't know much. And I would come to school with my backpack, and man, the guy would do everything to pick at me, and he would kick me. I would walk in the hallway. He would put his foot out to trip me. He did all kinds of stuff. And there were moments, I fell on the floor. I remember one time I busted my lip. The bottom of my lip, blood was flowing. I got up, I cried. I went to my teacher. Little boy, you may say, no, Bishop, you're a little wimp. I got to admit, I wasn't a strong boy. And they were laughing. The kids mocked me, and discouragement set in. I honestly got discouraged. And I believe somebody's listened to my podcast today. Life has knocked you down. And many of you may not be physically, but you are bleeding. You are bleeding. You are hemorrhaging. You are hurting. Like me in high school, it was bad. Many of you are embarrassed right now because people in the community know what you've been through. People in the church know what you've been through. People in your family, they know what you've been through. The community, the workplace, everybody around you, they know that you've goofed up. You made a mistake. You've been to jail. You smoke crack. You've been on drugs. You got a baby mama. You got pregnant out of it. All the things, you got arrested. People know. And people are so cruel today. They'll sit there and they'll wait. They'll just wait to just tell you what you have done. They'll mock you. They'll laugh at you. They'll say, see, I know what life did to you. You went and talked about you starting that business. And look, the business failed. You invested that money there and it failed. And they're laughing at you. You kind of embarrassed. You don't even want to tell them anything else about the business, and you just discouraged. Like me, do not let discouragement set in. Don't. Prove people wrong by being confident every day that the God that started his work in you, he's the one that's going to finish it. So you make sure you don't let discouragement, you pick yourself up. Everybody make mistake. Girl, you better pick yourself up. Sir, you better pick yourself up. Everybody make mistake. We make mistakes. Everybody make mistakes. We all go through a season where we do dumb, stupid, silly stuff. Let people laugh if they want to. But you keep working. You stay busy. Stay in your lane. Focus on your stuff. Do your thing. Do you, and live for the glory of God, and leave the rest to God. Because you know what? You can't prevent people from treating you a certain way. Some people, it's their character. They can't help it. They're hired by the devil to assassinate people, to harass people. And you just have to focus on where you're going. Stay true to your cause. You have to stay true to your cause. Number 3, stay encouraged. You prove people wrong by staying encouraged. You got to stay encouraged, my friends. You got to encourage yourself. Every day you got to get up. If nobody pats you on the shoulder, say to yourself, hey, I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing a good work. I can handle this. I can do this. Yeah, I can do this. Hey, I'm going to prove to people that I love what I do. And I might have fallen on the ground, or might have fell on the ground, I should say. I might have had a bad experience, but we fall down, we get back up again. So I'm going to encourage myself. I'm going to go to work in the midst of chaos. I'm, in the midst of discouragement, in the midst of you holding back, in the midst of you doing all the drama, I'm going to stay encouraged. I'm not going to get up every day walking around miserable, because you did me wrong. Some of you right now are living in situations. You're living with people in the house you're not communicating with. You're living with people on the job you're not communicating with. You are driving in the car with people who it's very tense, family members, siblings, and you're bitter and you're angry. And every day you get up and you're consumed with bitterness and anger. And you're saying, I'm not angry and bitter. You're lying. You know you're lying. You are bitter. You're about to bust. Every time you see a person that you know did you wrong or whatever, rubbed you the wrong way, you're about to bust. And some of you deep Christians with your crazy self, when you see people you start talking about the spirit and speaking all kinds of stuff like you're saying it's godly, you're full of yourself. You need to stop it. You just need to stop it, man. You're full of yourself. You see a person that maybe you've got a disagreement with and you're like, Holy Spirit, give me the patience. You're full of yourself. You are full of yourself and you need to stop it. You need to stop it. Prove people wrong. You don't have to act like an idiot. You don't have to act like this crazy because only idiots behave that way. Hello. Yes, I know some of you logged off already. Well, oh, glory to God. Enjoy life. Don't get discouraged. Just enjoy life, man. Enjoy life. The next thing you need to do, wow, this is a big one, to prove people wrong is to also say, I'm not perfect. Tell yourself, man, woo, I'm not perfect. The day you start thinking you are perfect and everybody else is wrong and you're this and you're that, that's the day you self-sabotage. That's the day you sabotage your destiny, your future. You better stop it. You are not perfect. You make mistakes. Like my son, he's a good guy. He's passionate about basketball. He's not perfect. I'm not perfect. And I told him, I said, son, let me tell you something. You're going to be shooting the ball. And some days, my goodness, everything will go into the basket. Other days, nothing is going in the basket. I told him it happened to Dwayne Wade. It has happened to LeBron James. It has happened to the best of the best basketball player. That you're going to have your days. Nothing is going in the basket. You're going to have your days where nothing seems to be working. Where nothing seems to be, heading in the right direction. You're not perfect. Accept the fact that you're not perfect. It's okay to miss the basket. I love it. It's okay to miss the mark. It's okay that you dropped the ball. It's okay if you messed up in that area. It's all right. Okay. You'll get another chance at doing life all over again. Hello. It's okay. Tell yourself, this is so comforting today. This podcast, I think, is a lifesaver for some people. Save yourself from stress. Yes, I made the mistake. Tell yourself I made the mistake. I made the mistake of walking away when I should have stayed. I made the mistake of staying when I should have walked away. I made the mistake of spending foolishly when I should have saved that money. Now I need that money. Come on now. I should have, not purchased that item, but I went. I should have not made that move, but I did. I'm just going to accept the fact I dropped the ball. I made a mistake. I missed the mark. I missed it. I should have done this. I should have let it go. You're human. I'm human. Just because you're Christian or maybe you're a person of faith, you're not really a Christian, but you believe in God. Let's put it that way. Hey, we make mistakes. The question is, what are you going to do from this day forward? Prove the naysayers wrong. Prove the critics. There are people laying wait right now, waiting for you to fail. So you got to accept the fact that, you know what? You don't always get it right. The next thing I want you to do, watch this, and this is good, to prove people wrong, is keep doing what you do. Oh, I love that. Keep doing what you do. When you find your niche, when you find what you love to do, keep doing it, baby. Keep doing it. Work it. Let's rock. Work it. Let's rock, man. Work that thing. Work that thing. I wish somebody would just send me back a thank you note. Henry, I'm going to work that thing. Come on now. Work it, girl. Work it, sir. Come on now. That's it. Come on, do what you do and do it good. Be the best version of who you are. That I will tell you will shut up the mouths of your naysayers. It will. It will prove people wrong. When you do what you do and do it well, it'll prove people wrong. People don't want to know what to do with you. Prove people wrong by doing what you do and do it to the best of your ability. That means equip yourself with whatever tools you need, get into the right environment, speaking to the right people, investing in yourself. That's it. I have paid lots of money just to have an audience with certain people. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. There are some people I value words that comes out of their mouth. Oh, and when they speak, I know those words are more valuable than anything else in life. And therefore, to get in their presence, whether it is to be in a seminar with them, whether it is to say, here's a seed. Thank you for those words. I do that. Why? Because I want to prepare myself. I want to do what I do. And let me tell you something. God has given Henry Fernandez a gift. I have a gift, a speaking ability. I have a gift to reach the hearts of so many people. It may not be you. I'm not called to everybody. Everybody don't like my style. It doesn't mean if you don't like my style, you don't like me, you don't love me, you're not a good person. I am more mature than that. Some people, if they can't reach everybody, if they can't get everybody to applaud them, then they get mad. I'm not that kind of a person, because with all the 7-point-something billion people on the planet, I'm not called to everybody. Oh, but there's a few people. I believe that they will love this voice. They would love my personality. So therefore, I sharpen my skills. I make sure I prepare myself. So when I'm in their presence, because their time is much valuable to me, like my time should be valuable to them, I make sure I empower them. So do what you do, man, and shut the mouths of the naysayers. Prove them wrong. I want you to prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. And the final thing I want to share with you on how you prove people wrong. Listen to this now. This is probably the best one. Keep your eye on Jesus. Ooh. Keep your eye on Jesus. Don't take it off. Look to him who's the author and the finisher of your faith. Oh, you're going to be tempted to look to the system. You're going to be tempted to look to people. You're going to be tempted to feel discouraged, like my son, because life has a way of embarrassing you. You know, you shoot, you attempt, you make effort to do certain things. And life says, you stupid, you dumb, you didn't do it right. Look, you failed. You missed the mark. But when you keep your eye on Jesus, first of all, there's some things you have already lied to yourself about. You've allowed society and the systems of the world to make you think you failed. But you didn't fail. I told my son this. I said, son, do you not know that what gives a shooter the ability to sharpen their skills is to practice shooting at the basket, throwing the ball to the basket from different angles. And it is when you miss, you calculate and you readjust and you try to figure out what else do you need to do for your precision to be accurate. Ooh. You see, when you and I are doing life, we keep shooting at the basket of success. And sometimes we fall short. It doesn't mean that we have failed. Yeah, people are sitting in the bleachers and they're mocking us. They're laughing. How dare you? Look at you. Look, stupid. They miss. Tune them out. Tune the distractions out. Keep doing what you do. Keep shooting. Keep aiming for the prize. And then when you miss it, okay, in this season, that's okay, no problem. Try to figure out, okay, what do I need to do to adjust to win at what I'm attempting to do? Maybe I just need to push a little bit more. Maybe I need to change my angle. Maybe I just need to make some adjustment. And I just feel that I am sent to talk to somebody this morning. Okay, prove them wrong. Readjust. Maybe you just need to adjust certain things in your life. And in doing so, you'd be surprised right now how a slight adjustment can shut up the mouths of your naysayers. You know, when I was growing up as a little boy, I grew up not as a wealthy little boy, a poor community, and no one thought that Miss Fernandez and Evelyn and Randall Fernandez children would ever come out to be anything much because, you know, when you don't have much, what do you expect out of little? And I remember when I migrated to the United States in New York, I realized I had a world of opportunity before me. I did. I remember in New York, the church I used to go to, you know, I didn't have things like most of those people. You know, I had to take the train or save up enough money to take one of those little city taxis. And it was difficult. You know, my mom didn't have much. She was out working. She only came home on the weekends and so forth. So it was a difficult season. But I told myself, you have an opportunity to make good out of your life. Oh, and I could remember, I remember as it was yesterday. There were people in my church laughed at me, mocked me, told me what I could not do. In church, I'm not talking people in the world, church people. Now, it doesn't mean the church is bad. Let's not go around now saying the church is bad. No. I used to do that. No, don't do that. But I had experienced, man, a horrible experience in the church. But I said, you know what? I'm going to prove these people wrong. People who had it then. Ooh, listen to this. This is good. People who had it then, oh, they lived in fine communities, decent homes, had cars, everything. I mean, Henry didn't have nothing. They were just looking at him, just some little boy down in Brooklyn, whatever. And God has a way of flipping the switch, changing the script. God has a way. My parents used to say, he who laughs last laughs the best. There were people who laughed at me when I had nothing. I see them, some of them today, and I don't rejoice. I'm not like, you know, I look at them today and have to just shake my head because they were the ones who never expected this fellow to turn out to be what he is. And I've been through a lot. Made some mistakes. But I'm telling you, you can prove the naysayers wrong when you put your total trust and confidence in God and follow all those principles that I just laid out there on your screen right now. Write them down. Write them down. And put them in the memory of your heart. And make sure you apply them to your lives. And watch God. Watch God make your enemies become your footstool. Yes, you can let your enemies become your footstool. Prove them wrong. I wonder who's ready. Who's ready to rock? Who's ready to rock and prove your enemies wrong? Thank you for hanging with me today and spending this very important time in the history of your life. Yes, thanks for joining me on this podcast, and I'll see you on another one. God bless.